So hi, I'm Roger.
And I'm Doug.
And I'm Doug. So hi, I'm Roger.
And I'm Doug.
And welcome to another edition of the Spandananda show. Today, Doug and I wanted to share with you another piece of our morning ritual that was inspired by a dinner that we had with our friends Tim and John. John lives in Vermont. He has the cutest little house.
It was such a beautiful, warm, welcoming dinner that they created for us. And
it was like a cold winter evening.
He made like black bean soup with avocado on top, and
there was a Christmas tree. It just was like so perfect, and the windows were actually fogged up a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really nice.
And after dinner, we sat in their living room
by the wood stove.
Yes.
Which was really nice.
And we just were sharing stories, and they created a really beautiful atmosphere. And in addition to that, they introduced us to a deck of art cards that a friend of theirs had created for them as a couple.
Yeah, there's this really cool deck of cards that this woman had made for them that had she had glued an image to each side of the card. So like one side they were all the same, and then the other side had a different image on it. And we sat around in a circle, and they shared with us their whole process and the whole ritual around pulling a card, and we were totally inspired by it. And I think we both knew without even saying anything to each other that we were going to make a deck of cards.
So for my birthday, Roger made a deck especially for me. Really sweet gift.
Yeah, it was so fun to make. We went into this thrift store, and Doug saw this board game, and he opened it up, and there was like this little deck of cards in there, and each card said Eureka on it. And so we left, and I went back secretly and bought the game and took the cards out and made this deck of cards for him for his birthday. It was really fun to make.
Let me show you a couple cards.
Yeah. Ooh. Ah, yes. Ooh, ah. Yeah, so in this episode, I am going to show you how you can make your own deck of cards. It's really simple, it's really easy, and really fun. Or stay tuned to the end of the show, and I'll show you how you can have your own deck made specifically for you and mailed to you or as a gift to a friend. All right, so let's get started. So here's what you're going to need to make your own deck of cards. First, you want to go out and you'll want to find a deck of cards that suits your needs. So here's just a couple that Doug and I found at a local thrift store, actually sort of like a vintage shop. This one has Peanuts characters on it, and this one has like a piece of art. And all the decks are the same. So one side is all the same, and then the back side, this one happens to be just a traditional deck of cards. And we like these because they come with cases, and it kind of makes it a nice little special container for it. You also will need some glue. You can use Elmer's, or I prefer Mod Podge. There are two kinds of Mod Podge. There's matte, and then there's a satin sort of glossy finish. So either one will work fine. Magazines. I love National Geographics. They have really great images, and the paper is sturdy. But you can use any kind of magazine that calls to you. You'll need a pair of scissors, a craft paintbrush, something that you don't mind getting ruined, and just a piece of cloth, a handkerchief, or just a piece of fabric that you don't mind getting glue on. And that's all you need besides a nice clean workspace. So the first thing that you do is you just take a magazine or several magazines and flip through them fairly quickly, gathering images that appeal to you, that catch your eye. Doesn't have to make any sense right away. Just beautiful images, whether it's a color or an expression or an animal, whether it's abstract. You're not going to cut it up yet. You just tear it out of the magazine and make a little stack. Once you have a stack of images, you'll take a deck of cards, and you'll just take one just as a way of measuring so you get the right size for the image. And you'll go through your stack of images and decide what part of the image you would like. So I take the card and I kind of roughly decide what part of the image I want. And then I cut it out, but I cut it out much larger than the actual card. Once you've trimmed off the excess from the image, then you actually decide what part of the image you want to use. Whether you want to do it horizontal or vertical. Right? So now I know what part of the image that I would like. From here, I take the glue and I brush it right onto the card, right onto the side that the image is going to go on. Right? So make sure that you coat it fully, but don't put too much extra glue. It'll cause the paper to wrinkle. Right? So once the glue is on the card, you'll use the back side of the image that you want to actually place the card on. And I'll hold it up to the light to make sure that I place the image in the exact way that I want. From there, you'll take your cloth and you'll very firmly rub the image onto the card. Okay. And place it off to the side to dry. So once the image is dry, it doesn't take very long. Mod Podge dries pretty quickly. And you're going to trim very carefully right around the edge of the card. And voila, the first image of your first deck is finished. It's that easy. You place it off to the side and start the next card. At the end of the day, you want to make sure that you take your brush and rinse it in some lukewarm water. Rinse it well. Give it a nice little squeeze to dry it. And it'll be ready for you next time.
So these cards can be brought out with friends at a gathering. They can be used to create further intimacy with your partner. And they also can enhance your own personal meditation.
These cards are great. Enjoy making them. Get out your arts and crafts. Create a beautiful space. Put on some music. Have some tea or coffee or a glass of wine. And enjoy making them. And if you would like for Doug and I to make you a deck specifically for you, you can go to sacredtremor.com and get more information about that. We're more than happy to do it. We love making these cards. They're great for yourself. You can give them as gifts. And so thank you so much for watching this episode of the Spandananda Show.
Thanks for watching, and see y'all next week.
All right, so long.
Bye.
All right.
Open heart chakra. Engage.
Is that enough space between my head?
I think it should be higher up.
Hi, I'm Roger.
Hi, I'm Doug.
Hi, I'm Roger. Should we try it again? At a dinner that we went to at our friends Tim and John. Tim and John.